Well, welcome again to Red Curtain Talk here at Biloxi Little Theater, known by many as the BLT. I am Eric Funches, the director of Trouble in Mind by Alice Childress. And today we have with us Mitchell Herring. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm good.
Good. You kind of coming through that weather to get here.
Yeah.
You're like determined. Rain, hail, sleet, or snow, I'm going there. Yeah, we thank you for that, man. So you are playing a very important character to this play. You're playing Al Manners. Who is Al Manners?
Al Manners is the director of Chaos in Belleville, which is the play within the play.
Yeah.
He's the head honcho, the guy in charge, the one sharing his creative vision and leading the actors to the fruition.
Yeah. What is your, when you got to know Al by reading and going through your script and learning him, what is your take on Al Manners?
Al is many different things to many different people.
Yeah.
Al wears whatever mask is necessary to get through, or to get his objective, really.
He's done that well.
Yeah.
He's mastered that.
He's had to play the different parts. Al is very brash, very confident, and he's not quite me in that regard, because Al will come into a room and that room belongs to him.
Yeah. So what other similarities and differences do you see between Al and yourself?
The creative aspect of things is very similar.
Yeah.
I like to dig in deep, and it seems like he does too, to a degree. As far as like the differences, Al is very calm when he needs to be, and that's something I've had to master over the years. Yeah. It's not something I started out with, for sure. And I'm more reserved.
Yeah. Would you say playing Al has caused you to be a little bit more introspective?
Yes.
In what ways?
Al is how I interact with other people. I've had to look and see, do I play different roles with people? And to a degree I do. I play the role of father. I've got 4 children, and I interact differently with them, and I have to pay attention to what I say and how I say it. And Al is similar in that regard, in that he has different ways he communicates to get what he wants.
Yeah.
So I've started looking at how I do that myself.
Yeah, there's, and Al is a father in the play. I mean, we don't get to see an interaction between him and his son directly, but we hear how different he is when he's talking about his son versus how he is with the cast and how he is with Eddie and how he is with Willetta. So I see exactly what you're saying with the different faces. Plus, we get to see how he is with Bill, who does film work and not just theater. So he's putting on these different hats, because his aim is more, or his thing, I guess I would say, is more that he comes from a movie theater background.
Yeah, he's a product of the Hollywood system, specifically the Hollywood studio system.
Yeah. And so coming into this theater world, do you think he makes the transition well, or is he trying to run it the same way he would if he was directing a film?
He runs it the same way like he would direct a film, and you really can't do that.
Yeah.
With film being so technical heavy, especially the early Hollywood system where Al came up. Everybody had their job, their place. They did it, or you were replaced.
Right.
And he definitely sees that in his reactions with how he handles the actors, how he handles the crew, especially the below the line crew, and how he talks to Bill.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely see that. What are some things that have been challenging for you personally in playing this character, Al?
Finding the right tone, in particular with how he talks to Willetta, because he doesn't view Willetta in the same breath that he does even Sheldon. In a way, I would say he infantilizes her. He talks down to her, so it's finding that right tone on how to handle that, and how to handle getting people's attention and directing their attention and holding it and just really getting into the headspace and staying there.
Yeah. Well, Mitchell, I have to say, you have done such, for me, just a marvelous job of getting into the person of Al and bringing him to the forefront. I can't wait to see what you're going to do on opening night and throughout the show's production. For those of you who are not a part of the BLT audience all the time, make sure you show up for this show. It is going to be remarkable. And what these actors are bringing to these characters is phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about your experience with filmmaking, because you have more in common with Al than just that desire to command a room. You've actually done film work and different things of your own. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've done quite a bit. I studied a bunch when I was younger. I went to school for it. I did a lot of independent work when I lived in Central Florida around the Tampa area, working with a lot of horror filmmakers in that area. I worked with, briefly had a moment with a gentleman who calls himself the king of the B movies, Joel Wynkoop, and I've done a lot of my own stuff. I worked together with my partner, Chris Durand, who doesn't live down here anymore, unfortunately, but we did about 3 films together, and I did a couple of movies while I was here, a couple of little independent films with Project Arrowhead Films, Brooke Brown, and yeah. So I've done a little bit. I've been on major sets and stuff like that.
So any titles that you want to drop, for particularly of those that you've done yourself?
Yeah, the one I wrote myself was called Language of the Sick, and it's like a little 19-minute two-hander. The other one is Secret Family Recipe. These are all darker titles, horror films, stuff like that. And the last one I did was a 2-hour movie.
Oh, wow.
Called The Demons of Grimsley County.
Okay. That is phenomenal. So you have this extra kind of, I won't say affinity for Al, but connection with the character of Al, because you really do understand, technically at least, where he's coming from with how he directs and tries to do. Just that he doesn't necessarily doesn't need to bring that into the theater world.
No, because the theater world is really an actor's medium, as they say. It's you're interacting and dealing with human beings on that level, and it's less technical heavy. Not always, but it's less technical heavy. Especially, I think Chaos in Belleville would definitely be real human centric.
Right.
When Willetta finally tells Al exactly what's going through her mind with these roles and wanting to break free from these stereotypes, that moment when she just lets loose.
She tears him a new one.
Oh yeah, it is a work of art.
Yeah, it is. And I love how your character Al tries to weasel around that central question of, would you?
Yeah, he would you send your son out to be murdered?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He tries his best.
Yeah. So you've got to see it. You've got to see it to believe it. Tell us something about this as we close this out. Something that you've enjoyed about rehearsals.
I love finally being back
Yeah.
in the theater and working with all the wonderful actors and talent that we have.
We do have some wonderful
It's
talent.
been a while since it's probably been about 14 years since I've been on stage, and it just feels like a nice cozy coat, and I really like interacting with everybody.
Beautiful. Well, Mitchell, thank you so much for being a part of this project. And as you know, I've said to you all, really, it's kind of a mission from my heart. I really feel like this show has such a powerful message for such a time as this. And so I invite all of you to come out, and I haven't said this on any of the others, so I think this will be a good time for me to reveal it. We will be doing, we won't announce it beforehand, but we will be doing what we'll call table talk, which is after one of the shows on each one of the weekends. And we want to announce when beforehand, just be announced at night. We'll ask the audience to stay after, those members who want to stay after the production ends, to have discussion with us. And we'll talk about some of the themes that ran through the play and just have a little time together to delve off into it. So get your ticket and see if you're lucky. But this has been our edition of Red Curtain Talk. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one.